And call this meeting of the Ames Parks and Recreation Commission for March 24th, 2022 to order. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the January 20th, 2022 meeting.
I move to approve the minutes.
I will second.
Okay, motion on the table to approve the minutes. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor of approving the minutes from January 20th, 2022, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Seeing none, the motion carries. Next item on the agenda is a public forum. This is for items not on the agenda. Please state your name and address and limit your comments to 3 minutes.
My name is Richard Dale, 505 8th Street, apartment 2. I'll try to be under 3 minutes. I was given to understand the city auditorium is part of your purview. And it's like last September, I was a doorman. I've been the doorman for City Hall for like 10 or 15 years. And until COVID happened, and it's like I was told by the police that I couldn't be that any longer, and I got really upset, and I have a little bit of problems with the police these days. So much so that they gave me a no trespassing order to be on city grounds. And I went to the city concert whenever it was, and I was told by Craig Kaufman that it's like he didn't know whether he could let me in, and he did, but I'd have to talk to Brian Phillips, the assistant manager, which I did the next day. And he said, I asked, the letter I got says I have to have legitimate business with the city. And I don't know, I asked him about it, he said it's recreational business, and he didn't say whether it was legitimate, that was recreational or legitimate business or to do it. And it's like, I don't know, I'm very upset. You know, they should get the door for people. And it's like, I've been doing it for 10 or 15 years. And, you know, I've talked to the police department about it, and it's like, I kind of feel like I want to talk for.
Well, I guess, Richard, I would ask you.
I wanted to go to this. I was planning to go apply for the senior variety show, but this would not be part. That's in August, and this thing's in September. I don't know whether I can go to audition for that or not, for example.
Okay, I would encourage you to speak. It sounds like this is a matter that the Parks Commission cannot necessarily determine when the end of your no contact order is, or no trespassing order is. So I would encourage you to talk again to the police department and to Brian Phillips. And if you have a specific deadline that you would like it to end in perhaps July so that you can audition for this program, I would tell him that specifically. But I'm not sure the Parks Commission can necessarily recommend to him to lift the order if it is based on actions that the police were concerned about. So that would be my encouragement to you.
Thank you. I don't know.
I understand it's frustrating, but I don't know the history here of the reason for the order.
I
And
mean,
so,
I was serious. I went to an attorney, and it's like I was supposed to see them go into court at 9:30 on October 30th or something like that. And I arrived at the building outside here at 9 o'clock. I didn't have a watch, and I started to play my harmonica. And police come out and say, "You have to leave." And it's like I had legitimate business to be in court.
okay,
And
I believe
it's
you.
like,
Yeah, I believe you, but also I can't, like the Parks Commission can't.
The attorney said I was right
Yeah.
and saying, but he wouldn't do anything.
Well, the Parks Commission can't unilaterally change the terms of this no contact order. So again, that would have to be a discussion with Brian Phillips. So I apologize that we can't change this, but I think if you give Brian Phillips a specific date, if you know the date of the auditions for the senior variety show, that maybe he would be flexible in changing the terms of the no contact order. So that would be my suggestion. But thank you for bringing this, and I hope I hope it can be resolved.
I mean, I go to the city council meetings, asked to speak in council comments and other things too. And I could often, I want to leave, but I also want to stay. I mean,
Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
All right. Is there any other members of the audience here to speak at the public forum? Okay, seeing none, we'll close public forum. Next item on the agenda is a motion approving the agreement with the Ames Cyclone Aquatics Club to use the 50-meter basin at Furman Aquatic Center from May 31st to August 5th, 2022.
Yes, we're going to have Jill Burt, our aquatics manager. She'll run through this, and there are two items related to Ames Cyclone Aquatics Club. This one is just used for their practices, and then the next item, which Jill will go through as well, is for the use of the Furman Aquatic Center for their swim meet in June. So go ahead, Jill.
Yep. So like Keith said, the first one is just for general use at Furman Aquatic Center for the upcoming summer. We went through the agreement that we've had for a number of years and just made a few tweaks and updates. So obviously with municipal pool closed, we took out that information. I think the couple changes that happened because of the transition with pool availability was we did set aside in here that there are 6 power towers equipment that the swim team uses that can be stored, and just kind of outlined the terms of what that would look like. And then we updated the schedule of use so that essentially when we have lessons at Furman, ACAC has 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. to practice. And then when there are no lessons, they can practice until 10 a.m. Lane lines should be switched over by 9:30. And then when we have swim lessons from 9, we start swim lessons at 9, but not upper levels until 9:30. So there may be some days where we ask for a couple lanes in the 50-meter to share use during that, but that'll be worked out on the specific days needed. The agreement runs from May 31st to August 5th as a general rule, but if there are any days outside of that, that there's requests for use, we just work through that and meet those needs as we can.
Staff's recommendation is alternative number 1.
Do you want a motion on this one
Yes.
now? Okay. Would anyone care to make a motion regarding the agreement with Ames Cyclone Aquatics Club for the use of Furman Aquatic Center for May 31st through August 5th?
I'll move alternative 1.
And I'll second.
All right, motion on the table is to approve alternative 1. Looking at the wrong piece of paper. Still looking at the wrong piece of paper. I was gonna do it.
CAFAC.
Oh, there. Okay. All right. Alternative one being to rent the Furman. Oh, this is for the swim meet. I'm really rusty today. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Alternative one to approve the agreement with Ames Cyclone Aquatics Club to use the 50-meter basin from May 31st, 2022 to August 5th, 2022. Is there any discussion? All in favor of alternative one, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Seeing none, the motion carries. Okay, now for the other sheet that I was looking at.
Go ahead, Joe.
All right, yep. So the weekend of June 3rd, 4th, and 5th has been requested for the annual Rock the Blocks swim meet. We had a number of changes last year because of COVID. And in review afterwards with ACAC, there were a number of things that we liked about the way that it was set up and felt were successful and would like to continue. Yeah, I guess the basics are that we're recommending rental of Furman at $775 per day on June 3rd, 4th, and 5th for the swim meet to include lazy river and the cost of additional lifeguards. So set up again so that they have the entire facility to be able to spread out and use all of the deck space, and having time for the swim meet and then time Saturday and Sunday later in the day for the entire facility to be open to the public. Are there any questions on the swim meet?
All right.
Mhm.
Okay. Would anyone care to make a motion regarding the approval of the use of Furman Aquatic Center by the Ames Cyclone Aquatics Club for their annual swim meet?
I would move to approve option one.
I will second.
All right. Motion is to approve alternative one, which is renting the Furman Aquatic Center at $775 per day for June 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Include the lazy river and the cost of additional lifeguards, and reserve the proposed dates and related times to host a swim meet in 2023. Determination of the date would be based on the city's evaluation of the 2023 meet, with a decision being made at the September 2022 commission meeting. Any discussion?
I would like to say, I think even though we are limited in the public's use of the facility, I think this highlights our pool, and this is a lot of our citizens that are part of this. And I think it's really good for the city to showcase this. So I think it's good that we're doing this.
Yeah, it always seems very well attended that weekend. It's
Yep.
just a ton of people, so it's great. All right, all in favor of approving alternative one, please say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, same sign. Seeing none, the motion carries. All right.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Jill.
Jill. All right. Next item on the agenda is a motion approving a memorandum of understanding with Ryman Gardens for 2022.
Yep. So Nancy Shaw, our public wellness manager, she's gonna kind of go through this, and just I did send an updated agreement today. There was just a paragraph in there that needed a little tweaking. So other than that, everything else stayed the same. But go ahead, Nancy.
So last year, we developed a partnership with Ryman Gardens, working with them and providing mind-body classes at the gardens. So we provide the instructors, and we get to have the classes, of course, at the beautiful gardens, which is an amazing place to have outdoor classes. We split the revenue 50%. They provide all the marketing. They reach out to all their people, provide us with the marketing that they do as well. And so we're going to continue what we did last year, and that we did 2 6-week sessions in the summer. Last year we had approximately 82 registrations. Hope to get more this summer as we get the word out there more that we are offering this. So it's a win-win for the Ryman Gardens and for us.
Again, staff's recommendation is alternative number 1.
I wasn't sure if you said that or I said.
Hey,
I know you were doing so good.
all right. Thank you, Nancy, for describing the programs. It sounds pretty awesome. I do need to do some yoga. Should register.
It's a good place to do it.
Yeah, totally. All right. Would anyone care to make a motion regarding the approval of the memorandum of understanding with Ryman Gardens for mind body classes in 2022?
I move alternative 1.
I will second.
Okay. Motion is to approve alternative 1, approval of the memorandum of understanding for 2022 with Ryman Gardens. Any additional discussion? All in favor of approving alternative 1, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
I must decline to
Oh,
vote
yeah, I guess you.
due to conflict of interest. I abstain.
Wayne abstains. Seeing 4 in favor and 1 abstention, the motion carries.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, thank you,
thanks.
Nancy.
Thanks.
All right. Next item on the agenda is a motion approving the tennis agreement with the Ames Fitness Club for March 24th, 2022 through May 31st, 2023. That's right.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we've ever had Ben here.
I think I came to the first one when I was hired.
I remember you.
And then they went online. So
Yeah.
So
yeah.
this is Ben Flaherty. He's one of our recreation managers, oversees our youth and adult activities. So go ahead, Ben.
yep. So we are bringing to the commission the tennis agreement between Ames Fitness Center and then Parks and Recreation. We've had a long relationship with them, serving quality tennis programs. We've had this agreement for a while, but we're just bringing it to the commission to formalize it on an annual review. Staff reviewed the agreement with Ames Fitness Center, and there are no significant changes from years past to this year. As you can see from the highlights in the program are listed on the commission action form, reflective how partnerships and collaborative resources can provide a higher level of service for the programs in the community. Basically, we take all the registration, we do all the advertising, and they do the teaching and the coaching. We split facilities, so we can use their indoor facility in the wintertime, and then any rain dates we do that as well. And then summertime, we're able to utilize the parks such as Emma McCarthy Lee and other ones like that. So staff's recommendation for the commission to approve alternative 1, approving the tennis agreement with Ames Fitness Center through May 31st, 2023. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll move to approve alternative 1.
I can second that.
Okay. Now I can't find it. There it is. Oh, I found it. Ed Moran would print everything out. Getting to see the logic in that. All right. There's a motion on the table to approve the tennis agreement with the Ames Fitness Club for March 24th, 2022 through May 31st, 2023. Is there any discussion? All right. All in favor of approving alternative 1, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, seeing none, the motion carries. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
We're getting all the staff here today. We're really a backlog of CAFs here. So, next item on the agenda is a motion approving the agreement with the Ames Youth Baseball League regarding the use of fields 7, 8, 9 in Brookside Park from March 28th, 2022 to November 1st, 2022.
Yeah, for many years, Ames Little League, now known as Ames Youth Baseball, has had an agreement with Ames Parks and Recreation in regards to the use of the three fields at Brookside Park. This is an agreement that just basically this year we just changed the names. There were no other really changes in the document, but the partnership starts, or the agreement starts March 28th, goes to November 1st, and staff approves alternative one, or staff recommends alternative one.
Okay, would anyone care to make a motion?
It seems to be always a good agreement, and so I approve motion. All right,
Move.
Motion 1.
Alternative 1, okay.
I'll second that.
All right. Motion is on the table to approve alternative 1, which is to approve the agreement with the Ames Youth Baseball regarding the use of fields 7, 8, and 9 in Brookside Park from March 28th, 2022 through November 1st, 2022. Any discussion? All in favor of approving alternative 1, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Seeing none, the motion carries. All right. Thank you, Joshua, although I assume you'll be sticking around. Next item on the agenda is a motion approving the request from the Iowa Sports Foundation to waive the 10% of gross sales of merchandise for softball tournaments to be held in North River Valley Park on July 27th through the 31st, 2022.
Yes, thank you. So the Iowa Sports Foundation will be hosting the State Games of America this year in July. And within that, they hold softball tournament at North River Valley, and they plan to have one vendor selling merchandise. And per the city vending policy, it does state that a minimum of 10% gross sales are payable to the city when a vendor is within the park system. 2019 was the last year they had a vendor on site, and prior to them, Iowa Sports Foundation had been collecting the 10% fee for that. In 2019, that did amount to $629.90. In 2020, the event was canceled due to COVID. In 2021, due to low participation, they did not have a vendor on site, although it did come forth to commission where it was presented for a 50-50 split of the gross sales between the city and Iowa Sports Foundation, and commission alternatively approved to waive the full 10% of gross sales payable to the city. So that is what staff is presenting to you today to approve the request to waive the 10% gross sales of merchandise for the softball tournament at North River Valley, which is alternative 1.
Would anyone care to make a motion?
I move to approve alternative 1.
I will second.
All right. A motion on the table is to approve the request from the Iowa Sports Foundation to waive the 10% gross sales of merchandise for softball tournaments at North River Valley Park on July 27th to the 31st, 2022. Any discussion? All right. All in favor of alternative 1, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Okay. With 4 ayes in favor, the motion carries, and Wayne is opposed.
My marginal loss is getting smaller every year.
This $300 is going to make or break it.
This year's it's going to be large.
Yeah.
33 states.
Oh, true. Yeah. That's a lot of states. All right. Next item on the agenda is a motion, several motions regarding the Ames JCs and the Ames on the half shell event this summer.
So we have Craig Kaufman, our auditorium, bandshell, and community center manager, will walk us through this one.
Thanks. So I think we're all pretty familiar with this event. It's a longstanding event that takes place in Bandshell Park every year. It did not happen in 2020. The only real changes from 2021 are they are going back to doing 5 events instead of 4. And last year, they pushed the event back to July, to Fridays in July, just with the hopes that more people would be vaccinated and that people would be more likely to come out. It was a successful year for them, so they are going forward, moving it back to June and doing 5 events next year. So that's really the only changes. But based on the history of this event and our relationship with the JCs, staff is recommending approving alternative 1. I'll take any questions if you have any.
It continues to be a great event and raise a ton of funds for the community, and I was glad it was back last summer. So, right. Go ahead.
I'll move to approve alternative 1.
I will second.
All right. Motion on the table is for alternative 1, which is to for the Ames JCs to sponsor Ames on the half shell for 5 Fridays between May 27th and June 24th, completing teardown no later than 9:30 p.m. Recommend City Council approve alcohol be served at Bandshell Park between May 27th and June 24th, between the hours of 5 and 8 p.m., consumed at the ground level within the fenced area, and no later than 9 p.m. And the JCs will acquire a state liquor license to do this, and to waive the JC's payment of a $1 facility fee per ticket and the 10% gross food beverage sales from the events. Any additional discussion? All right. All in favor of approving alternative 1, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right. Seeing none, the motion carries.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Craig.
Thanks.
Okay. Now we've done all of our approvals. Okay. Next item on the agenda is an update regarding the Indoor Aquatic Center.
So just several things that have happened since our last meeting in January. So we did, the city did submit the final application for the Iowa Reinvestment District program. We haven't heard anything yet on that, but we're hoping maybe sometime here in April, we will get a decision. Again, remember we had the preliminary award last year of $10 million. And that's what we have asked for in the final application. So that was one thing that we have done. We are also continue to work with the DOT on the purchase of the property. We did have a meeting with them recently in regards to that. We're looking at October 1st as a possession date. We're still working through the purchase agreement. We're hoping to maybe take that to City Council at the end of April, at their April 26th meeting is what we're looking at. One thing that we have done is we did have a phase 1 environmental study done of that site. And we did get that report back. And they also, Impact 7G, besides that study, also did a hazard material identification study, which looked at the 2 buildings. They did find a few things. There is some asbestos on the roof of one of the buildings, which will need to be abated. And then there's just some other materials within both buildings that will need to be done before demolition occurs. There was some concern in the study regarding some of the businesses that used to be in the surrounding area. They did find that on the northeast quadrant of the site, there was a filling station roughly from the late 40s through the 60s. And there was no record that underground tanks, were removed. So that was a concern. There was also a coal plant that was to the north of that property, and there had with some well sites that were on the DOT property. We did have all that information from the DOT regarding the samples that were taken. There was also a petroleum plant that was to the east, of that property. So with all of this, what the recommendation was to do some additional borings on the site. So they suggested to do an additional 3 borings in different locations on the site. In talking with RDG, the architect, asked them about geotech, and if we were having the borings done for the environmental study, should we do some geotech borings as well, just to make sure that where we're going to put the building, that the soils are suitable for construction. So we're doing that as well. So they're actually going to do the geotech borings, they'll do some environmental borings, and then they're also going to do underground radar to see if there are any tanks still there from that filling station. So they're going to be doing the underground radar next week, and then on April 4th and 5th, they will be doing the borings with it. And the DOT has been very cooperative to get these things done and so on. So that's something. So that's kind of that phase 2 environmental and the geotechnical borings. So we're hoping to get that report back. So we have that information before the 26th of April. So we have the purchase agreement. We have the environmental study. The other thing, we did put out a request for proposals, an RFP for a construction manager. We put that out. We did have 4 companies or 4 firms submit proposals. We have an evaluation team looked at all those proposals. There were 2 firms that were selected for interviews. We did those interviews on Monday. We're doing an evaluation of those interviews, submitting that information, any additional questions that the evaluation team may have will get submitted to the firms in response. And we're hoping to make a final decision and make a recommendation on April 26th also. So April 26th is going to be a busy meeting. And then in addition to that, what we are doing is finalizing the agreement with RDG, Planning and Design. And we're hoping to also on April 26th award that contract to council. So council has already indicated that they would waive city policy and just go with RDG, again, because of their experience with the Healthy Life Center, doing those conceptual designs, and then also with what we did for the Iowa Reinvestment District. So those are several things that are happening. One thing that we just had conversation about earlier this afternoon with the city manager is I will be sending something out to commissioners in regards to having a special meeting, probably maybe next week. So I'll send some dates to you and see what you have. But what we want to do is, because there are some naming opportunities with the Indoor Aquatic Center. So since we have a policy, and I'll send this all out to commissioners, but we do have a naming policy for parks and recreation facilities, parks, amenities, and so on. So what we want to do is we want to bring that forward to the commission Our policy says commission makes a recommendation to city council. So we want to go through that and then take that to city council on April 12th. And have those, hopefully the naming will not have any hiccups. We'll get that approved. And then on the 26th also is what we want to do is we want to recognize all of the donors. And we'll get that information, to you at some point as well. So like I said, a lot of things happening for the 26th, but there's something with the special meeting that just came up today with the naming and how we want to go about doing this and moving forward. So that's another thing that will be happening, and I'll send some information out probably tomorrow and get some feedback from everybody. So Courtney, Joshua, did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
So lots of things happening with the Indoor Aquatic Center, and it'll just continue to get busier and busier. So
Well, thanks for your hard work on this. This is really important to us and the community, so appreciate it.
yeah, and it's and it is exciting, and we really as staff, and I know the residents are very happy as well with your support as a commission, and also with city council, the steps that they have taken to continue to move this project forward. So we thank you for all of your efforts as well.
Keith, will there be a project page out there so citizens would be able to go see where we are in the status and what things are going? Because I know that's kind of important to a lot of people that they can see design, they can see where you are in the process.
Yeah, I think we do have a page out there. I don't think we have updated it recently, so we'll get that all updated.
Thank you.
And yeah, and one other thing, that has happened too is we did have a meeting, early on last year, over a year ago, with the neighborhood, and I have had conversation with kind of their representative, the neighborhood's representative, and just recently, and she had been getting some questions, so I responded to the questions that people had, gave an update, to the neighborhood, and I also did, offer if they wanted to have another Zoom meeting at some point, be more than willing to do that. So I haven't heard anything back yet. So maybe the information that was provided at this point was enough to satisfy the neighborhood. But those are a number of things that we'll be doing as well. But we'll get that updated, Dwayne.
Any other questions or feedback for Keith? All right. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
I think that was enough.
Next item is an update regarding the downtown plaza design.
Yeah, so with this one, we did put out the bid documents, and we did, so again, with this project, the overall project budget, it was $4,555,000. We did put the bid documents out there, and we have had a number of firms that did ask for plans. So our plan holder list was pretty good. We did yesterday have a pre-bid meeting here in the council chambers. We did have 3 general contractors that were in attendance. We had HPC Construction out of Ames. We had Henkel Construction, and then Woodruff Construction as well. So those 3 general contractors were here. They had several questions. And then we also had 1 irrigation subcontractor that was here that had some questions. So there have been a number of question submittals, to purchasing with regarding the project, regarding the plans, and then with the questions that we received yesterday. We will be setting out or putting out an addendum next Wednesday to all of the plan holders. So in this kind of a project, What the addendum does is it just clarifies, any questions. And sometimes, questions are brought up and there are discrepancies, maybe between what's listed in the specifications and what's on the plans. Or sometimes they just, hey, can you clarify this? Or I don't see something with this, and it was something that may have been missed, and then we add that in. So then they go by, they have to, when they submit their final bid, which is due April 13th, that Wednesday afternoon, then they just have to let us know that they did receive that, and that's how they base their bid on the plans, and then any changes from that addendum. So we're hoping, that we get some good numbers on April 13th, and I think is there anything else, Joshua, with the plaza? I think that's the big thing.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that the plans are out there.
Yeah.
So, any questions?
I just have to say, I'm glad we're going with real ice. There was a group, I think, down in Johnston that they went with the synthetic surface, and they interviewed the kids, and all the kids did was complain.
Oh,
So
really?
I don't think it was good TV. Johnston.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that, but I know they in the consultants that worked with them on the synthetic ice are also our consultants, but and we went through all that. You got to see, twinkle toes on his case working around that synthetic ice.
Pro.
but well, that's good. We appreciate that comment, because that's what we were worried about with especially after Joshua skated. He said, I just don't know if everybody's going to be happy with the synthetic ice. So
Yeah, it was kind of interesting because they were talking about the last skate of the year, and these kids were really struggling to move. And finally, the one kid, this is horrible. She was a little tiny thing.
well, good. So
that's the real honest review there from unfiltered kids. If you
Yep.
get, So. All right. Next item on the agenda is project updates.
Yeah, so it's really we obviously have a lot of projects going on, and I think at some point maybe what we should do is just take one of our meetings and just give you a summary of all the projects that we have going and the status of all of them, in case you have any questions. But really, one of the things that we just wanted to bring to your attention, we did have a bid opening yesterday for the wetland dredging out at Ada Hayden, and we had $175,000 for that project. Joshua went to the bid opening. The first bid that was opened was $343,000. And but they kept getting better. They kept coming down, and the last bid that was opened was for $110,000. So we'll just be doing some reference checking on that, but pretty big spread. Pretty
No
big
bathroom.
spread.
There's no bathroom.
Yeah.
I'll bid it just me and my shovel.
Yeah. So
$100.
So one of the things, and it's interesting that, there are a lot of projects out there. There's a lot of work to be had. And our consultant that was here for the pre-bid meeting yesterday, made the comment that, in some of these situations, that some of these firms, they aren't looking for work. They don't need work. But what they'll do is they'll just throw a bid out there, and, hey, maybe it's ridiculous or seems ridiculous, but if it's the only one out there and we really want to have the project done, or somebody wants to have the project done, maybe we'll go with it. So it said that's sometimes what firms are doing. And then others that are looking for work, put their pencil to paper and sharpen their pencil a bit and come in with a more realistic number. So we'll see what happens with things. But we're going to be doing reference checks on on the firms that bid, and then hopefully what we'll do is we'll take this to council and award a contract on April 12th. Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
On April 12th.
Yep.
So, and I guess one other project that we're going to be taking plans to city council will be the painting of the basins at Furman Aquatic Center. It's time they need to be done. So we'll take those plans and specs to council on April 12th. We'll get that bid out there, and then that project will happen after the season is done. So, and in any other projects you want to touch base on, Joshua? Or
My spouse keeps asking about the squat or the paddle. What's the game?
Pickleball?
Pickle. That one at Emma McCarthy Lee Park, the pickleball courts.
Yeah. Still in the process of finalizing plans and specs for that project. And then once we get those plans and specs finalized, we'll send them out to bid.
yeah, and we had just met with the consultant, so they're just finalizing things and.
Yep.
So
Is that
we'll be able to get
next
those out.
fiscal year? Anyway?
No, it's current.
Oh, it's current.
Yeah.
Okay, so still this summer probably.
We'll see. Well, one of the things that
We're
we're
gonna be
finding.
positive. Yes, that's what we were hoping
Yeah.
on. Is
Yes.
that
One of the
that
things
this will be done.
one of the things we're seeing is, specifically in like one of the things that like even for our soccer fields is like we're having a hard time finding paint.
Yeah.
Paint line.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Wow.
things that we're, noticing that are finding out that's like, oh, this delayed a little bit longer just because of supply issues.
No. Everywhere.
And what did Kyle tell us today? That he just purchased paint and 3 times.
3 times as much per
Oh
gallon
my
is
gosh.
what we were paying. So
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
How about the adaptive boat ramp?
So the adaptive boat ramp is the manufacturing is done. We just finalized specs last week, and those need to be sent out to bid for a concrete contractor to put that in. And once the concrete's in, we can have it shipped and just put on site.
Nice.
so the goal is we'll have that in the spring sometime.
Nice.
So that would be the goal.
So do we need to reconsider the Iowa Games waiver of fees? Help out with-
$300 will go a long way.
Try a couple $1,000.
So that's it for project updates.
Next item on the agenda is a monthly report.
Is there anything Courtney or Joshua want to highlight?
Just briefly, obviously you can see we've had 3 different tournaments hosted over at the ice arena throughout last month. So a lot of activity there, and we will be working through this month to be closed for maintenance month in May. So it'll be closing after the figure skating show all the way through June 1 for that month period. And then obviously municipal pull some information in there about the last week prior to closure on February 28th. And then in February, Craig Kaufman had the Virtually Anywhere in Here concerts live at the auditorium start up, and just getting information about those events so people can know what quality productions that Craig's bringing in so they can come and participate.
And I would like to just thank Dave Flory from the Ames Minor Hockey Association. He loves taking care of the outdoor ice rinks at South River Valley Park. So I just want to thank him for his efforts and the work that he put in this last winter. It was a little bit shorter winter than we've had in the previous seasons, but he's already putting in his name to hopefully take care of the downtown Plaza ice in the future. So he's really pitching for that. So I just want to tell him thanks for that.
Did you have a lot of people sign up for the Zamboni driving class?
We did. So for the first class, based on the size of the igloo room at the ice arena, we had capped it at 10, and we had 10 participants. So the class got filled about a week prior to. It was very successful. With the first round, we were able to get some good feedback from participants about the class. And so we'll have the next one coming up in April, and that is that second weekend in April. So there's still spots open for that if you're interested in signing up.
What kind of certifications do you get with that? Like if I go up, I'm at the ice rink all the time, and I could just pull that Zamboni out and whip around the rink a few times. Does that qualify me if I take this class?
You've seen it a bunch of times. Like,
Oh, I've seen it a million times.
What we told all the participants at the end is that if they really enjoyed it, there's applications at the front. So if they'd like to get more in-depth training, we'll be happy to have you.
All
What?
about it.
My daughter was a participant. This was a bucket list thing. And actually, I talked to Taylor one time before that. And she got off that thing and she goes, "You got to be crazy to do this.
Yeah.
There's levers, switches, knobs, you name it." Taylor did an awesome job. I mean, it was amazing what she did on that. But the funny part was my daughter is a grad student, and she by far was the youngest person by 25 years in the class.
Huh.
The folks that got there was all fairly close to senior citizens, and they loved every minute of it. They did an awesome job.
What website do I go to sign Jeremy up?
AmesParkRec.org.
Yes.
I saw that the email come out, and I was like, there has never been like a class more designed for Jeremy.
Yep.
And you get a T-shirt that says
I don't,
Zamboni
I don't know why you
experience.
I might have to sign myself
Oh my
up.
God. Okay.
That's your certification.
I'm doing it.
That's the only, yeah, that's
Yeah, if I wear
at
the
least
t-shirt-
at a picture.
If I wear the T-shirt up there, they have to let me drive it.
So how old was that oldest lady?
I don't want to say specific, but she was 80 plus, and
Yeah.
she had been a long time judge for figure skating. So
Oh
she
my
had
God.
always had that lifelong passion to get on the Zamboni with all the
I
time she
love
spent in
that.
ice arenas. So she finally got that chance. And they even said that they had such a great time, they would even sign up for another class. So that was a good feedback that some people would be interested in doing it multiple times.
You know, extra income.
That's so charming.
Any
That's so funny.
downtime for that? I don't think there is downtime for that ice, but I'll tell you what, you could just sell like Zamboni driving times.
All right, let's move on.
Well, all right.
I want to talk about the Zamboni one.
So going to unfrozen water, one of the things that we are doing, we're working with Jax, and on April 16th, that's a Saturday, we're going to be doing a fishing event up at Ada Hayden on that Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. People can come out and fish. We're going to have kind of raffle prizes. You can sign up, and we're going to have some bag boards out there. So they have a couple of different activities for people. We're hoping to do a lot more, with this event, but things just didn't work out. We're going to maybe try again for next year. But on April 16th, grab your fishing pole, come out to Ada Hayden, and have some fun.
Great. Any other monthly report items? All right. Next item is commission member comments. Any other Zamboni comments?
I will go back to the frozen ice a little bit.
Yes.
I do go by the outdoor ice arena all the time, or the ice rinks all the time, and they were constantly busy this year. And I know we don't keep numbers, but it was fabulous to see tons of people out there pick up hockey games and figure skating, and it was very, very popular. So,
Yeah.
And the weather contributed to that this year, but
Yeah.
it was really good to see.
All right, great. Thanks.
I saw on it was on Canadian public broadcasting. This guy,
You watching that?
I know it was like I follow their Twitter, so but this guy, and it was like a frozen lake or river or whatever, but he jerry rigged an old water heater, and he would skate, and he had it plugged in on this super long extension cord, and he would skate around, and his name was Sam, so it was called the Zamboni. And it was so delightful. I don't know. I mean, it's a lot more work than driving.
But maybe Flory out at the outdoor rinks.
Yeah.
Well, actually, for the downtown plaza action again, I get a tractor mounted ice resurfacer.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
for
you
that,
need a
so.
Zamboni.
That'll be really slick.
So, yeah, it's delightful. I was at Emma McCarthy Park after the big rain last weekend, and the bridge was holding up well.
Still there?
Still there. Didn't go anywhere.
Good.
So.
Also make a comment. It was great to see the bathhouse come down. It looks
Oh, yeah.
really nice. It went down really fast, and neighborhood comments were positive. So.
Good.
They were delightful.
Still have a few more things to do over there. But yeah, we'll get that place buttoned up and start designing and start getting everything ready for the agility course. So,
Are the expanded garden plots going in this summer?
yeah. So actually, for Car Park, we have an Eagle Scout individual that's
Oh,
going to
fun.
be building
nice.
the 14 raised beds for that, and then during the month of April, we'll be constructing the garden beds out on Delaware Avenue.
Great.
And then we'll both sides will have water lines
Nice.
for individuals to use.
Awesome.
Yeah, just so with our process, what do we have with all the new ones? What, about 80 beds, maybe 100 beds?
Not quite. Yeah.
Yeah, probably close to 100 beds.
Close to 100, yeah.
So if you had a bed last year, you get first opportunity to have that bed again, which most people do. And then for the remaining beds, we had 80 people signed up for the remaining beds this year. So Joshua and I have already talked about looking to where we could maybe add some additional beds for next year.
How about your bed?
With it.
I ate too many walnuts.
Yeah, no, it was.
That's awesome.
I was a little concerned because we've never had that much interest in that. Usually it's around 15 to 20, and we're able to accommodate most of those. And it, I think it worked out. We kind of changed our process a little bit this year, and I didn't hear any complaints. I think it worked out. So if there's more people that want it, like Keith said, we'll work something out to hopefully put some more gardens in the future.
And one of those things we call a pleasant problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have that a lot of people looking for something, that's good feedback, and we'll see what we can do to accommodate them in the future.
I still think we're just going to be dealing with just sort of the after effects of COVID for years to come, with more people looking for outside recreation opportunities. And I think you see that with the skating rink and the gardens, and and just a lot of facilities getting a lot more use than they have in the past, it is a good problem to have. But then we need to make sure that we maintain things and service things, and that costs money.
Yep.
So yeah, but it's a good problem to have.
There's no other comments. I would just, even though Sarah isn't here, Sarah Littler, I do want to, publicly thank her. She's been on the commission 2+ terms. I'm pretty sure it was 2+ terms, and she's always been a delight to have on, and very supportive of what we do, responsive to the community and so on. So even though she's not here, we do want to say thank you to Sarah Lettweiler for her service on this commission.
Yes, thank you, Sarah, if you're out there watching.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
I see her on Facebook.
Yeah.
And we will have a new commissioner, Rachel Cramer. She will be joining us in April. So I have an orientation with her tomorrow, and we'll get her all ready to go up to speed and hit the ground running.
Apparently trial by fire in April.
Yeah.
All right.
And obviously then Jacob was reappointed and Sarah was reappointed.
Yeah.
So good. And I guess I'll say congratulations to Jacob, Mr. President.
All right.
Thank you.
Cool.
So is it what is the actual student government? Or what
President of the
is
student body. So yeah, I'll be heading up the student government at Iowa State next year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a lot of responsibility, man.
A lot of trouble to cause.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, good. Well, it's good to see everybody after I haven't been here for a few months. So, yeah. Next meeting is Thursday, April 21st at 4 p.m. Unless there is a special meeting in between here and there, we'll find out. I would take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right. Meeting is adjourned.